Hey everyone, today I'm bringing you a special video on the Belmont characters in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I will do my best to have everything correct. I'm going to go over the costume origins, some of the nods and sound effects in Castlevania series, and also SIMONS Classic Mode. Now, I haven't seen anything on this, but from what I see, there's something special there, and I need to talk about it. Basically, this episode is about the Belmonts. So, this is Bdadley, and let's get into it. We're going to start things off with Richter Belmont. We're going to start with this blue original, which looks like it's from Dracula X and Rondo of Blood, and even Symphony of the Night without the long hair. The red costume looks like it's from Juice Belmont from Harmony of Despair. He, I believe, is Richter's grandfather, and it's a game on GBA. Not the highest scoring Castlevania game, but it's still pretty fun. Very confusing though, however. The purple one, I can't find anything on it, honestly. I believe it's just a Smash original. I've looked through all the games Richter's been in and other Castlevania characters. I just can't seem to find anything on it. It could represent like another Castlevania character from another game, like Richter or someone, but who knows. The green costume, I believe, is Trevor from Symphony of the Night, even though the old Trevor had like brown and yellow looking stuff. The Symphony of the Night version, when you find him in an upside down castle, he's wearing green, so I think that's where that one came from. The yellow one, I believe, is Simon or early Trevor, just because, I mean, if you play the original games, that's kind of the color they have going. The next costume is the darker blue. I can't find anything on it unless it's just an irradiation of Dracula X or something. Maybe even Symphony of the Night might take after that. The only difference I really find between this and the original, this one's a little bit darker and it has blue straps, while the other one a little bit lighter with brown straps. Now this next one, black, everyone who has played Symphony of the Night or Castlevania really can tell that it's Alucard. I mean, just look at it. Alucard has the same exact clothing. Even in mid-game you can see it. It's a really nice costume though, I like it. Now, this last one, a lot of people may not know, but this costume is going after the guy who started it all, the very first Belmont, Leon Belmont. If you've played Lament of Innocence on PS2, you will notice he has a red and white coat. That's really all I got on Richter, other than some of his winning taunts are from the games. Even that pose right there is from the cover of Rondo of Blood. But that's all I got for Richter. Let's go on to Simon now. Alright, now we are on to Simon Belmont. We're going to start off with his costumes and go into his stuff later. But for the first costume, of course, is the old school Simon from the NES, the very first Castlevania released. The second one is the red and gold. Odd as it is, it's the same color as Gabriel Belmont's Armor and Lord of Shadow series. However, we're not on that universe, so we're not going to be talking about it. We're going to be talking about the old school original universe. So this is actually the cover of Simon's Quest, Castlevania 2 box art. That's where the red and gold comes from. Now the gold and gray armor, a lot of people may not know the game Haunted Castle. That is actually part of the Castlevania series, almost like a spin-off arcade type deal, but this is Simon's colors when he is in that game. Now the red and black costume, of course, is Castlevania Chronicles, which was another game in Japan. It was for the X68, Sharp X68000, I believe. It was Akumaj Dracula, I believe. Akumaju, I don't know. It's a weird game. But Castlevania Chronicles is the same version of it, but just released here on PS1. You can also play the original on it. Now his blue one, of course, Richter. How can you not tell, right? The next one, it is a purple costume. It could be a Smash original, but I did a little bit of digging, and the only game I could see a costume relatively close to this was in Portrait of Ruin when John and Charlotte summon the Greatest Five. Simon's the very last one appears, and it's about the same colors for this costume. It's the closest thing I can see. If not, it's just going to be an original. Now, this red and brownish costume, like I was saying earlier, Akumaju Dracula for the Sharp 68000, X68000. This was similar to the color, but what I found was a game called Vampire Killer on the SMX or MSX, something like that. Simon's colors are about that same color. It was actually the second one released right after Castlevania. And then the final one could be a stretch. It could be Richter from Curse of Darkness due to the show recently coming out, but I'm not sure. It could just be a Smash original. Most likely it's a Smash original, but hey, you know, it'd be cool to tie in other Castlevania characters. Also, I forgot, on the blue and white costume for Simon, it could really just be a throwback to when he was on the Captain N show. I don't know if anybody knows that show, but a boy got sucked into the world of Nintendo and had to deal with all these issues. Had Pit, Link, Mega Man, Simon Belmont even. But it could be a throwback to that. We never know. Once again, I forgot, on the red and black costume, it could very well also be the in-game sprite for Simon, for Simon's Quest. Alright, this is the one I was waiting to get to. The story mode for Simon. Yes, like how they did Ryu, they threw a whole bunch of Easter eggs in, made it seem like a Street Fighter game. They also did the same with Simon. I noticed it and I was like, man, I gotta let everyone know. So here we go on the first one. If you notice, Smashvania, of course, Simon doing what he's gotta do. The first two, yeah, it's K. Rool and Incineroar, but if you play the Castlevania games, it kind of ties into other characters. Now, stage 1, it could be K. Rool as Galamoth from Symphony of the Night, or Olrox from Symphony of the Night, in his lizard form though, not regular wizard vampire form. Also, Incineroar could be a Were-Tiger from Castlevania 64, or a Panther enemy, of course, from Dracula X, Rondo Blood, Symphony of the Night. But it all could also be Cerberus. Yeah, I know what everyone's saying, Cerberus is a dog, but in Dracula X, when you fight him, he is the first stage boss. He is portrayed as a cat. So that could be it. That's really interesting. I thought it's really cool. I really like how Sakurai paid so much attention to detail for this character and Richter as well. Alright, so it's number 2, of course. It's a wyvern. Simon fighting a wyvern is Ridley, so that's pretty simple. And it's kind of like Dracula X throwback when you fight the wyvern, a little castle in the background. They kind of did the best with the house. Stage 3, of course, a succubus and Malphus. Succubus is the female vampire you gotta fight in Symphony of the Night that acts like Alucard's mom. And then Malphus is like the Birdman that you fight in the right side of the castle, and upside down he becomes a normal enemy. Number 4 is a classic character. Simon Belmont did fight them originally in Castlevania 4, where it was like a little gauntlet where you had to fight Slagra, Gabon, then Death right before Dracula, and then he was the first stage boss in Symphony of the Night. So Charizard is Gabon and King Dedede is Slagra. Now these three took a little bit of looking to figure it out, because I couldn't figure it out for a while. Mewtwo, I find out, is Shaft and Ganon is Olrox in his vampire form, or it's vice versa with the two. And then Bowser is, from what I gather, is supposed to be the Behemoth, which is a boss you fight in the Castlevania 64 game. And then, was it Portrait of Ruin, a couple other ones he chases you, like Dracula X, he chases you in that. That's what I gather on those. And then the very last one, of course, is Richter Belmont, which, you know, it could be, since it's his great-great-great-grandson, you know, I see it fitting, since you had to fight Richter anyway in the Portrait of Ruin game to unlock the full potential of the Vampire Killer. And of course, you know, final stage Dracula, what a better way to end it. I mean, that's the way you fought him in the very first Castlevania, so why not have it as that? Alright, just to cover a few more things before we go. The sound effects of the whip crack is from 64 and Portrait of Ruin. And then the regular attack, where you hit something, is from the original Castlevania. And then the crawl animation, of course, is from Castlevania 4. When you hold the whip out and swing it around is from Castlevania 4. And then when you hang from your whip is also from Castlevania 4. And that's really all I have on these guys. If anybody else has anything else, just let me know. Anyway guys, this is Bdadley, and I'll see y'all in the next video.